Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I got some good news, I got some bad news, and I got some encouraging news. Got an update with the transfer portal. We're going to get into all of it, but I think we should start with the good news that broke last night, and that is the fact that Bru McCoy is returning. He says, let's run it back. Thank you, Vol Nation, for all the love and support, especially since my injury. This place and team is special, and I truly believe the best is yet to come. Go Vols. Now, if you're, in the words of Kane, or if you're an everydayer around here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, told you guys 3 days ago that Bru McCoy was going to be coming back. I'm learning how to read the tea leaves, kind of figure out where things are at. Sometimes I get lucky. I'm no expert or insider, but I think I have my finger on the pulse. We let you guys know that it was likely that Bru McCoy was going to return. You know, we heard this at the Citrus Bowl. You know, the media met with Nico Iamaleava, and he said he is working on Bru, trying to get him to come back. Talked about him being a leader in that wide receiver room. You look at what Bru McCoy did on the field in 2022, had 52 catches, 667 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he's Mr. Reliable. I think you need 3 yards. You tell Bru McCoy to run to the sticks, I will hit you with a football, and you're going to catch the football. We've seen this wide receiver room struggle this season, a lot of drops. I think Bru McCoy is reliable. I think he's a guy that you can lean on. You know, somebody asked me a question earlier this week. They said, Boogie, what would you rather have? Would you rather have Bru McCoy back, or would you rather have Evan Stewart in the boat? And no disrespect to Evan Stewart. I think he's a great player. Would have loved to have him on this team. Spoiler alert, that's the bad news coming up in just a minute. But I said you got to go with Bru McCoy. I think he's reliable. I think he knows this offense. And I think you talk about locker room chemistry. You talk about the culture that Josh Heupel is building. I think it speaks volumes that you're able to get a guy like Bru McCoy back. So now you look at this offense rolling into the 2024 season. You're returning everybody on the offensive side of the ball outside of Ramel Keaton, who we've all been frustrated with at times, you know, made the great catch back in the Florida game a year ago, and then it's kind of been Mr. Inconsistent. He'll drop a ball that hits him right in the hands, and then he'll go up and make an amazing play like we saw in the Citrus Bowl on the sideline. That was a great catch. You're going to lose Ramel Keaton. You're also going to lose your running backs, Jalen Wright and Jabari Small. But, you know, I said it in the video yesterday. I think you can upgrade. I think you're going to upgrade at the quarterback position. I think you're going to upgrade at the running back position. And I think you're going to upgrade at the wide receiver position. Now that Bru McCoy is back, you know you got Bru locked down on one side. You got Squirrel in the slot. Now, who takes that other side? Who fills that Ramel Keaton role? Is it going to be Chris Brazel? You know, a guy that Tennessee added via the transfer portal? Or is it going to be Dante Thornton, a guy that we started to see a little bit of flash from? We started to see why Tennessee went and chased down Dante Thornton in the transfer portal last year. You know, we struggled when they brought him in and tried to play him in the slot. Once they moved him to the outside, we started to see a little bit of what he could do. And then he goes down with the injury. I think spring is going to be fun to watch for that other wide receiver position, but you got to be excited. You have to be excited about this offense in 2024. The offensive line depth is a concern, but overall, your starters, I think this offense is going to go back to looking a whole lot like it did in 2022. But again, that's the good news. Bru McCoy coming back for 2024. Now we're going to get into a transfer portal update, but as always, guys, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up just below this video. It is quick, it is free, and it is easy, and it helps this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you. We talk with you here. We value your opinion. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. Most of this channel is in the chat. It's in the comments. It's hanging out with you guys discussing Tennessee football every single day of the year. So if you enjoy that, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, a season recap. Come hang out. Join us tonight for a Talkin VAWLS live stream. Always a good time. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the bad news. Bru McCoy is going to be coming back in 2024. What is the bad news? Well, this came out also on yesterday. Yesterday. Came out yesterday on Twitter from on3.com. From talking to some sources this afternoon, Tennessee is moving on from recruiting Evan Stewart. So that's confirmation that Tennessee is moving on. This isn't a Evan Stewart saying, I'm going to look elsewhere, or, you know, we talked about NIL money. We talked about going and getting Evan Stewart and how he instantly becomes the best wide receiver on this football team. Is it NIL, or is there more to it? You know, as a football player, you look at Evan Stewart when he had that breakout campaign his freshman year, 53 catches, 649 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then this past season, 2023, he battled battled injury. He missed a few games, 38 catches, 514 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But again, a playmaker, a guy that you want in this offense. And so some of you guys asked me last night in the NCAA stream, Boogie, what is going on? Are you concerned? Are you worried? I think the offense is going to be just fine. Again, we'll watch that position opposite of Bru McCoy. We'll see if Brazel, or we'll see, if Dante Thornton, we'll see who steps up and takes that opposite spot there. But you look at Evan Stewart and you say, why? Why is he, why is Tennessee moving on? Was it NIL? And I don't know, maybe it was NIL, but something interesting popped up on Twitter from Evan Stewart himself, and it kind of raised a red flag for me. And no disrespect for Evan Stewart. Again, I still think he's a talented player. I hope he finds a home, and I hope he figures things out. But he later tweeted this out. This also came out yesterday. Says, wherever I go, I just hope the training staff can tell me the actual diagnosis of my injuries for my physical and mental health. That's a lot there, and you wish the best for Evan Stewart, but that's a big red flag, right? You're recruiting Evan Stewart, and now he's sitting here saying, I need to know the actual diagnosis of my injuries. And that's something, we talked about that he battled injuries last season, and you kind of hope he gets through that, and you think he's going to come in and be a playmaker. You're excited to get him on campus, try to recruit him to Tennessee. But then you see him talk about the training staff and actual diagnosis. And then he mentions mental health, and that's not a joke. I mean, mental health is real. So I wish the best for Evan Stewart, but seeing that Tennessee was the one that moved on. Tennessee decided to look elsewhere, and then Evan Stewart comes out with this tweet. Some of you guys asked me, why, Boogie? Why would Tennessee move on? And I don't know. I don't know if it's NIL, but this right here is a big red flag. So I wanted to bring attention to that, show that to you guys again. Wish the best for Evan Stewart when he puts that out there on social media. You never know what's going on in one of these kids' lives. A guy that struggled with injury, and now he's talking about diagnosis. Wish the best for Evan Stewart, but Tennessee is going to move on. I think they're going to be just fine at that wide receiver position. I think they have plenty of talent. Got to continue to develop and grow that talent. You got a couple of really good freshman wide receivers coming in with Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. You've also got Nathan Laycock. How does his career develop? How does he turn out? He's been a guy that we were all excited about, man. Watching him climb the rankings. Everybody's talking about Carnell Tate, and then Nathan Laycock quietly going to work, jumping the On3 recruiting rankings, ends up at Tennessee. Sounds like he's having some issues with drops. Got to get that cleaned up, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Nathan Laycock, a young kid. He's going to be a redshirt freshman next year. We'll continue to follow his career, see how he develops. Now, I said I've got something to be optimistic about, something that we can take a look at here, and that is this. Lance Hurd, LSU offensive tackle, has entered the transfer portal. Now, every time somebody enters the portal, you guys start tagging me on Twitter. You say, Boogie, is this realistic? Let's go get him. Drop that bag. Nelson's on Twitter dropping the monkey with the cell phone, calling everybody, saying, hey, we got to take a look at this kid. But Lance Hurd enters the transfer portal. You go to 247 Sports. He is the number 2 ranked offensive tackle in the portal right now. Now, as a prospect coming out of high school, 5-star prospect, he was LSU's highest rated recruit in the class of 2023. So this is a kid that's got a ton of potential. And, Austin Price over at VolQuest did confirm when Hurd entered the portal, he said Tennessee definitely going to kick the tires here and go see if they can get Lance Hurd in the boat. Now, I saw an article from SI.com, and it said Hurd, a 5-star true freshman who emerged as a key piece to the future for this program, is now departing. Says the exact reason for Hurd's absence wasn't confirmed last week, but those familiar with the situation had stated that the coveted offensive tackle was debating his future with his role being the key piece. Says he came to Baton Rouge with swagger and confidence that he would be able to take on the left tackle spot. He flipped around to the right tackle position, opposite of star sophomore tackle Will Campbell, but has not proven that he will be a key piece moving forward. So that's an interesting thing, and that's something we hear a lot with these offensive tackles, right? They all want to play that left tackle position. They want to play the money position on the left tackle. That left tackle is the one that everybody wants to play. We heard the same thing from Gerald Mincey. Well, guess what? John Campbell is going to be back at the University of Tennessee for one last ride in 2024. So Lance Hurd is entering the portal because he's behind a sophomore. But would he be willing to come to Tennessee and be behind a COVID senior, a year to learn the system? Or would he want to play that right tackle position? But, we've heard that Gerald Mincey's going to be coming back as well. but Tennessee's going to kick the tires here. I think he would be a huge piece to add via the transfer portal. We talk about depth. We talk about the offensive line. You just played the Citrus Bowl without either one of your tackles. You were also down an offensive guard, and you still went out and won the football game 35-0. So when we talk about all the pieces returning, everybody on that offense, what happens when you've got a 5-star offensive tackle adding depth to that unit? So again, Tennessee going to kick the tires here. We will see where that goes. We will continue to keep you updated with the transfer portal. I think it's going to be the Wild Wild West. I think NCAA saying, hey, you got 2-time transfers for this cycle. I think that's going to make things interesting the next couple of weeks as we roll into spring practice as well. But that is going to do it for this video. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. Bru McCoy is back. Evan Stewart is out. Tennessee targeting 5-star offensive tackle Lance Hurd via the transfer portal. I want to hear from you guys. Also, go check out the merchandise for the Talkin VAWLS Network. You know where, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got that Cultivate merchandise. We got Talkin VAWLS lettered theme shirts, Talkin VAWLS State Pride merchandise. Go check it out. The link is in the description below. And a quick shout out to the members of the channel. This would not be happening. I would not be able to do this full time without your support. Hit that join button. It's $1. If you like the content during the season, you got to support us during the off season. Think about hitting that join button. We would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.